Good morning, Internet. Good morning, Internet. It is Saturday night, about quarter to midnight on Saturday night. Um, welcome to everyone that's here. Let me recap where we've been here for the past day or two. Last night, I guess, was a well-received edition. Um, don't get used to that. That's a couple words about alcohol. Um, you usually never make good decisions when you're drunk. And I note that my only loser last night was the one I threw in just as an afterthought because I had a load on. So yeah, there you go. Why do you think Las Vegas gives you those free drinks? It's loosen you up, make you math becomes harder. You make stupid decisions. They make money off your stupid decisions. It's not rocket science. So for you youngsters out there, you millennials, you want to be gamblers who are learning from my bad beats, my experience, don't mix gambling and alcohol. It just doesn't work. I put up our new quote from Winston Churchill. I have taken more from alcohol than it has taken from me. He was a well-renowned drinker. Didn't seem to hurt him much. So if you know your limits, alcohol can be your friend. A hell of it of making these videos in the middle of the night is my schedule's gotten all fouled up now, and I'm up at 3 a.m. So at midnight I'm ready to go, and there's just nothing good comes of guys with AARP cards out there at the bar after midnight, closing down the place. Just nothing good comes of that. So I don't know. We're going to have to struggle with that. We'll figure out what we can do there. But what happened? We had 6 games for you. 6 games for you on Saturday, and it was a big day. UConn lost 61-55, but that was a winner for us as we were getting 10 points. George Washington getting 10.5 points at UMass, won outright going away 75-51. Nice. LaSalle from the fighting city of Philadelphia getting 6 points. 6 points. No, that's not right. I'm sorry. George Washington was getting 5 points. See, I wrote these numbers were written when I was drunk and they're illegible, so I still can't read them. LaSalle was getting 10.5 points, and they lost 66-63, close enough to get the W. North Carolina Central, you're going to love to hear that name before this is all said and done. Those guys are the MEAC champs. They were getting 6 points, and they handled their business, winning outright 86-59. Very nice. Very nice. And then Nevada, oh, Jesus. These guys, I think they were tied or up a point at halftime. They're getting 13 points. We got hosed a little bit there. The number was 13 when I drunkenly looked at the computer last night to come out here and shoot the video, and then the thing closed at 13.5, 14. But at any rate, they lost by exactly 13 points. So we'll take a tie on that one. That was bad luck. I mean, we probably should have got that one. They were up, like I said, a point at halftime, getting 13 points, and then they just could not throw the ball in the ocean in the second half. So to recap, and then the drunk pick. I almost forgot that one. I didn't even write it down. The drunk pick was Roy Williams getting 4 at Pitt. Obviously North Carolina is just not a good team, and the only thing that keeps me coming back is, wow, they're North Carolina. They must have some talent there somewhere. They've got to have some athletes. I guess they don't. I guess they don't. They got hammered by Pitt, who I don't think is that great of a team. So, I'm never a big Roy Williams fan anyway. I mean, you can't argue with the guy's record. He's got a good record, but, it just doesn't seem like a guy I'd like to have a beer with. So they take the L, my only L of the day. So that leaves us at 26 wins, 18 losses. Let's say that again. 26 wins, 18 losses. As I've said, I believe that this is going to be the key to generating more subscribers, more likes, and ultimately making me a bigger, powerful entity on the internet, rather than, being funny and a clown. Because you're here to give winners, I hope. Maybe you're here to be entertained. But it seems easier for me to hook up winners than get drunk every night and be the home entertainment center. Um, Even guys that made a career of that, like Foster Brooks, he's from the 70s, Dean Martin, these guys weren't drunks. They just pretended to be drunk. And I'm not sure I could do that. I think I actually have to do the real thing, and that's hard on you. I'm almost 52 years old. That's hard on you at this age. So there you have that. All right, so I didn't come out here just to tell you that. I got actual picks for you. So let's go on to some new business for Sunday. Some other games that you can, watch perhaps while you're waiting for the NFL games to get going. North Dakota, 8-11, Pomeroy ranking 222, getting 7.5 from North Dakota State. North Dakota State's at home, 12-6, 147. I don't love this one. I don't have a real rationale here on this one. Whatever it was, I wrote it down and promptly forgot it. We're taking North Dakota. It's probably the number of points. Let's just, hell with it. We're on a roll. We'll throw 2 stars on it. Why not? We'll probably regret that. But number next, Missouri Valley. Let's go there. Drake from Iowa, 13-5, a 147 Pomeroy rating, is getting 1.5 at Southern Illinois, and they're 8-10, and the Pomeroy ranking 214. I'm mystified by this one. Why they're getting 1.5? Maybe somebody's hurt, but I think Drake is just a significantly better team. This is just 2 teams going in different directions. Drake is improving. They are definitely. They used to be an afterthought, a bad team. They got a new coach in there, and that is an improving team. Their coach has some crazy against the spread record, like, he's covering like 70% of his games. Now, granted, it's a small sample size, and he's a new guy, so that may regress to the mean. There's a gambling term for you, but I don't think it's going to be here. The guy's getting 1.5. Southern Illinois, they're just not that good. They're just not that good. They haven't been that good for a while. That used to be a real tough team, but you're going back 10, 15 years. So we definitely like Drake here. We'll give it to 2 stars. I wouldn't be surprised if come tip off that number Drake's favored. I think a lot of people are going to see that one the way I see it, and that number is going to move in our favor, I think. But we like it at 1.5. Also in the Valley, do we remember Loyola Chicago, who made that big run into the Final Four a few years ago? Here they're back. Looks like they have a pretty good team again, although that's not that good of a rating. 97 probably means they're going to have to either get hot here in the second half of the season or win the conference tournament. But I know that guy thinks he's building, a team out there in Chicago that ultimately will lead probably out of the Valley to one of the bigger conferences. But he's going to have to win to do it. Here he's a 3.5-point favorite at Illinois State. They're 6-11. This is basically the same rationale as the Drake game, except we're paying a much steeper price. We're actually favored here by 3.5. I like it. I don't like it as much as the Drake game, which it makes me want. You know what? Screw that. Let's do this. Let's put Drake at 3 stars. And we'll put that at 2 stars. There, now that makes a little more sense. I mean, I like this game. I'm not saying I don't. It's just not as good as the Drake game. So we'll just throw 3 stars on the Drake game, and that's how we'll do that. And then lastly, we got Cal at UCLA. Cal has been a mess. They've had unstable leadership there for a number of years. Finally, now they have a new coach, and he's an old hand. He coached at Georgia for a number of years, and he's not great, but he's better than what they had. So, you know, he's kind of steadying the ship a little bit, if you will. So that's a team I think that has definitely bottomed and is probably improving a little bit. UCLA is a mess. Mick Cronin, who has a lousy against the spread record, he's the new coach. I don't know that's a good fit for UCLA. I mean, Cronin's a Midwest guy. He's been in the Cincinnati, Louisville area his whole life, and you know now he goes to Los Angeles. I just don't know that his way of doing things is going to go over out there. Cal got their ass kicked early, I think on Thursday night at USC, just blown out, and they couldn't throw the ball in the ocean. So they've been sitting there for a couple days in LA stewing over that. So I think they're anxious to get back on the court. I think they're going to come into Pauley Pavilion and play hard. UCLA, they're just so. I mean, I'm getting 8 points. As you note, the records are identical, and we know what Bill Parcells would say about that we probably have an edge here getting the points. So, Cal, 2 stars. All right, no, that's what I got betting-wise for you. And let me say a couple words here. Let me put my video production hat on. I just want to thank everybody that's stopping by the pages to subscribe or like or hell, even view it. I actually took a few minutes this evening to look into the studio. This is all new to me, and trying to figure out what some of this stuff means. Really, one thing I saw that would just confused me, it said that 50% of my views have come from the United States. So, what? I don't know anybody except one person, and I didn't even tell them I have a channel outside of the United States. I said, B, do people outside of the United States give a damn about American college basketball? I honestly don't know the answer to that. So I'm thinking if you know, people from other countries have an interest in American college basketball and or my channel, well, all right then. So let's give a shout out here then to some other people. I guess French, bonjour, Canadian, good day, Australian, good day, mate, cheerio, guten tag, hola, and konnichiwa. So there. I'm not a stupid person, but I never had a touch for languages. I just could not pick them up in school. I can barely speak English. But yeah, the channels, one thing I noted about the subscriber, I watched a video from some fellow named Ali, a nice British chap who made a good video about what that means to subscribe. Apparently, you don't get emailed because I guess you would just get inundated with annoying emails. So if you subscribe, when I make a new video, it appears in your YouTube page, I guess. If you're logging, if you don't have a Google account. Oh, that's another thing. You said you had to have a Google account to subscribe. It's like, okay, I guess. So if you're logged into your Gmail or whatever account, then you could subscribe. And then when I have a new video that I've made, then on your page, there's some kind of notification or something. So I guess that's how you know when I have a new video out. Ali said that I will not get paid for likes or clicks or views, which I found somewhat discouraging. But it must have, and then I found another page that said, I won't get to monetize my page until I reach some ridiculous amount. I think 1,000 subscribers, just to keep everybody up to date. I believe at the moment I have 12. So I think doing my math on that, somewhere 4 years from now, maybe then we might make a nickel off of YouTube. On the good news, I noted that somebody was searching my LinkedIn page this week, and they were from Penn National Gaming. I can't imagine what those guys want for. I mean, my LinkedIn page is about my previous business, which I still do it a little bit. If someone from Penn National wants high quality advice on how to comply with the federal motor carrier safety regulations, well, by all means, give me a call. Maybe I'm not sure that's what they wanted, though. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, one of the people that searched me was the United States Department of Defense. I really don't know what those guys wanted. At any rate, so there's some random thoughts for you. There's 4 games taking you into Sunday. We're on a roll. We're on a roll here, and that's the way we like it. Let's keep it going. All right, so from me to you, have a good championship Sunday, and we'll see you again. Good morning.